going to increase.
Okay.
Because it's fast picking up. Our first seminar in 2011 will be on March 12 and 13.
12 and 13. Where will it be held?
It will be held at the Philippine Stock Exchange, the Makati Stock Exchange Center, Penthouse.
Okay.
And the price is relatively cheap. It's only $3,999.
Wow, that's for 2 days already.
Yeah, that's for 2 days with meals already. It's very cheap because it's sponsored. Okay, I won't mention the sponsor because they're probably not your sponsor.
No, you could mention to acknowledge.
Okay, to acknowledge lang the sponsors,
go ahead.
SME Nation.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the reason the prices are so low.
Oh, this is like the advocacy.
Yes, because they go for small business as SMEs, and that's what they want to drive at, and we give them a vehicle for them to actually promote that.
Okay, do you have a website wherein our listeners could find out more about the information of your seminar?
Sure. The website is bizwizresources.com.
Okay, that's bizwizresources.com.
Yes, that's BIZWIZ resources.com.
All right, now going back to Cristelia's question, she asked about what is best workshop. Boone, you think you could tell our viewers a bit more about this workshop? Like, could you give them some lessons that they could take home, especially in terms of entrepreneurship and business?
Okay, sure. No problem. I'll give you a little tip. Okay.
Right.
This one is going to be it's going to both answer the question and give them more questions.
Okay.
Okay. It isn't about money.
Any business.
Business is not about money. It's not about. If you think about the money right now, if you try to establish yourself just to make money, you will sacrifice a lot of things. And eventually end up not making money. One of the things you will sacrifice is customers. And another is your employee. I mean, if you have employees, you might even sacrifice them, because many people who look at the money aspect of things will just look at the margin. Okay? Magkano ba kinikita ko?
Dr. Ernie's like nodding his head and giving two thumbs up when you said that. Because he's an economics prof in UP, and I think he's like, yes, that's what I see.
Oh. If I may ask, Boone, I'm really in search of that factor in the Philippine industry because I have been doing research on this, looking for the critical factor that would provide the take-off that we have been waiting for as a country to make our country world-class and competitive with the rest of the world. I've been doing research on that. And I know for a fact that nothing substantial had happened for the past 50 years in this area of concern. And I know what you're talking about is of critical importance to make this possible. That's why I'm still looking for the Filipino entrepreneurial factor that you're talking about. That's why I was
giving the two thumbs up. So when you were saying
I was looking for that because when the president said during his this inaugural address, first inaugural address of the president, he said that one area that he had identified is the market failure. Because market has the capability to provide opportunities to millions of citizens in a particular society. But what the president said is the market system is not working. So I'm looking for the factors now. Is it caused by the lack of Philippine entrepreneurs to harness the potential? Do they need additional directions to be able to see the direction that they're supposed to take in this area of business? And now you're talking about the spiritual side of it. A bit. And I told your colleague here that, this is it. You're talking about, and I think this is a very good seminar to begin with. Now, another inputs could be, there are a lot of tremendous potentials for an island country like ours. We are a country of 7,000 islands.
Yeah.
So they're looking for the best slogan. I give this for free to revitalize the tourism program of the country. So when I was in Europe and I was studying there as a young scholar long time ago, they told me, my professor told me that, Ernie, you know what you have over there that we don't have here?
What?
You have the sun, and you have the sea.
Agree, 100%.
If you are there now, freezing in cold, and you think about these things, can you imagine the kind of tourism marketing program that we could develop in the future related to this?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm into this. I know there are some apprehensions. I also have my own apprehensions to this. Opening up to the global market forces of people who have the money wanting to go to beautiful places like the country, like our country. I mean, but I'm looking for the entrepreneurial factor. Marcos in his book, maybe you must have read his book, Iginoid ng Tadhana. He said
the one he talks about his history.
But this was not published, I was really surprised why this was not published. But when I read it, I have realized what Marcos is talking about. You know what Marcos said? He said, if and only if there is a Filipino out there, I could have solved the most difficult problems I have met during my presidency.
Wow.
That is. I've been reading it long time ago. I'm more of a researcher. I mean, maybe your colleague here, I'm more of a contemplative.
Right.
But when I hear things like this, like you're talking about, and for me, it rings the bell, of the limiting factor in our society. Like when Andrew Carnegie went to the front during the 1920s, when he became the entrepreneur to develop the steel industry in America, together with other American entrepreneurs who have done it for the U.S. I told myself, who will do it for us? Well, maybe you could provide an answer for that.
Actually, we have to do it for ourselves.
I agree with you.
I mean, we cannot rely on anybody. We have to start here right now with number one, ourselves.
Right.
I'll just give you an example. There was this, when I was a child, there was this mentality, they called it the Chinese mentality.
Yeah.
Okay, my partners are Chinese and they're probably listening to me right now.
Very good.
Okay. So,
very good.
their mentality was that it doesn't matter if you earn just a small amount, okay, on that, so long as you can make it up in volume.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, and also, if you earn 10 pesos, spend only 1 peso.
Correct.
Something like that. So, these things, actually the Filipino is only learning now.
Yeah.
It's not, it has never been a question of money. It has always been a question of attitude.
Correct.
That's true. Actually, to add to that, before we go for a break, we experimented on that. Me and my site friends, what we did was, that saying that if you know 1 million people, you just ask 1 peso, you have 1 million pesos at the end of the day or something.
Yes.
No, we tried that. We just asked people for 1 peso. Ate, kuya, may isang piso po ba kayo? They didn't find value in that 1 peso. But at the end of the month, we earned 50,000 pesos.
You should give it back now.
It was invested,
You're giving people ideas.
Yeah, no, really. And there is a question by John naman. He's from Makati. He asked me right now, why get into business? I mean, this is also a question that you sent to me, but he asked, is it easy to get into business or is it difficult? So before you answer that question, we'll just pause for a break for BBC News. Again, don't go away, Boom. Just stay on the line.
I will.
All right, so all the listeners out there, stay tuned. We'll just pause for a break, and we'll be right back.
Commercial access on DZRJ, 810 AM, the voice of the Philippines.
Hello, good afternoon again to everybody listening out there and to all our texters. We have so much questions right now. I'm your host for DZRJ 810 AM, the voice of the Philippines, universal access to learning. I'm Mary Beth May. Then with us is, of course, there's Dr. Ernie Gonzalez. And of course, our special guest this afternoon is Mr. Boom San Agustin. Hi, Boom.
Hi, Mary Beth. And hi to everybody again.
Yeah, we have a lot of texters. I mean, really, they're asking about your best workshop. And actually, they're wondering about Cristelia a while ago said, what are the other lessons you could share to all our listeners from Best Workshop? And of course, last time before we went to break was the question about I think it was John who said why get into business, and is it easy to get into business? So that's a whole lot on the plate. I hope you can address each one though.
Okay, with Crystals, I don't think I've answered that fully yet.
Yes.
Okay, but if I did answer that fully, I would be probably giving the workshop already.
Okay.
I just have one last thing to say about that.
Sure,
it addresses issues about relationship with partners, and most importantly, your relationship with money. Why? I mean, you have to rediscover that. It also delves in your purpose. And the activities it's activity-based, so it's not boring. Most of the activities are really fun, and you can see all the testimonials in the website, which is bizwizresources.com.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. And this is sponsored by?
And it's sponsored by PLDT SME Nation.
Kudos to you guys.
Okay, so now, if I were to pick one activity that I would like to explain, we call it the Sorcerer's Fair. It's the very last activity.
Sorcerer's Fair.
Yes, and it's
an tell your business?
Yes, it's a simulation where they actually start a business, and they have to discover everything that they've learned. Because if they don't do whatever they've learned throughout the seminar, the activity will fail. Okay, so it's a very each activity is connected to another activity, and all of that comes to its accumulation process in Sorcerer's Fair.
Okay.
And it's very interactive because from the very moment you step in, the very moment you register, something's happening already. You just don't know it, and it will become apparent once you get deeper into the workshop.
Okay.
The mere selection of seats, everything it means something already.
Okay. I think Dr. Ernie had a question. You're raising his hand.
Yeah,
Okay.
because we're into Boom, no? We're trying to identify the inroads to really the genuine method to be able to accumulate. You're not really interested in accumulating wealth, but there are principles related to it, right? So there are two kinds of income in a person's life. Yung
Active and passive.
Yeah. But, have you included that as one of the destinations that must be done to
When we talk about
these future entrepreneurs?
Yes, we talk about, but financial management is graced over through each activity, meaning that they experience it rather than it being taught, and it comes out of them. Okay, so when we ask questions, when we start to process them after the activity, we ask them, okay, what have you experienced? And then suddenly it comes out from them. It's not rocket science. They figured out this is the right way to go. Ganon.
Okay. All right. Now let's go back to John's question.
Yeah, John's question.
Yeah, he said, why get into business, and is it easy?